Wherever you find yourself, stay. Go neither towards the outside or the inside. Let the infinite variations of becoming be cast aside by the glowing of consciousness alone. Absolute consciousness is manifest here in every circumstance of daily life, because it is everywhere full and perfect. Consciousness is said to be the cause of all things, because it is everywhere emergent as each manifest entity. Straight away, remove yourself from the field of spiritual progression. Stay away from contemplation and skillful discourse. Do not do research or meditate on the divinities. And stop concentrating and reciting textbooks. Tell me, what is the absolute nature of reality, which allows no room for doubt? Listen carefully. Stop holding on to this or that. Inhabit your true, absolute nature and peacefully enjoy the essence of what it is to be alive. The ultimate consciousness is always present everywhere. It is beyond space and time, with not before or after. It is undeniable and obvious. So what can be said about it? Drama is like a dream. It is not real, but it is really felt. Nothing perceived is independent of perception, and perception differs not from the perceiver. Therefore, the universe is nothing but the perceiver. The existence or non-existence of phenomena within the domain of the empirical cannot be established unless they rest within consciousness. In fact, phenomena which rest within consciousness are apparent. And the fact of their appearing is itself their oneness with consciousness. Because consciousness is nothing but the fact of appearing. The group of subjects, the various means of knowledge, the multiple kinds of knowledge, and the objects of knowledge. All this is consciousness alone. The Supreme Goddess is the absolute freedom of consciousness, which assumes all these forms. Both characteristics, unity and diversity, are found in that which does not fall to the level of an object, but which, because it is consciousness, is the supremely real light. It has only one characteristic, namely, consciousness, which is the perfect medium of reflection. This is what experience tells us. The truth is therefore this: the Supreme Lord manifests freely all the varied play of emissions and absorptions in the sky of His own nature. The light is the supreme reality that encompasses all the categories from earth to Param Shiva, while the unfolding of the reflective awareness of the heart, of I consciousness within it, distinguishes between them. The extremely pure conscious reality transcends all talk of succession and its absence. Immersing themselves in the supreme reality, clearly aware that consciousness is all things. The yogi's consciousness vibrates. This vibration is the great pervasion. The yogi should abide firmly fixed in their own nature by the power of the exertion of their expanding consciousness. Thus they are established on the plane of bliss, relishing the objects of sense that spontaneously appear before them. Perfected yogis are ever steadfast in this. The supreme mudra, the perfect and unobstructed expansion of the awakened. This bliss is not like the intoxication of wine or that of riches, nor similar to union with the beloved. The manifestation of the light of consciousness is not like the ray of light from a lamp, sun, or moon. When one frees oneself from accumulated multiplicity, the state of bliss is like that of putting down a burden. The manifestation of the light is like the acquiring of a lost treasure. The domain of universal non-duality. Other achievements are in vain if one has missed the supreme reality. But once one has attained this reality, there is nothing left that one could desire. There is a radiance that remains undimmed through all moments of light and darkness. The one within. The end of all light and all darkness. That one is the highest divinity, the innate essence of all beings and states. For all that comes into being is nothing but the expression of its sovereign power. The goddess never wants to be separate from the one who holds her. They are eternally one being, as inseparable was fire and its heat. This absolute consciousness, which accomplishes what seems impossible, has autonomous, sovereign, awake awareness as its nature. It is said that the defining feature of insentience is a limited power of illumination. So awareness is distinct from insentience by the fact that it is unlimited. The cycles of creation and dissolution are innate to awareness, existing as subdivisions of its innate power of freedom, as expressions of its true nature. For within these cycles, there exists an infinite variety of painful and pleasurable worlds, higher, lower, and parallel to this one. The state of being ignorant of all this is itself a construct of that freedom. The cyclical flux of this autonomous being is indeed terrifying to those who are unconscious. Recognition of the nature of reality is divine liberation. That state of fullness experienced by the awakened ones is taught to be living liberation. These two states, bondage and liberation, both derive from the nature of the highest divinity. They are indivisible. One implies the other, for there can in reality be no division within the highest divinity.